I am very much in an Edgar Allan Poe mood right now, so just bear with me while I hyperfixate. Just let it run its course. Maybe. Hey there, creepy peeps. My name is Nightmare Maven. Welcome back to my channel. We all know we're gonna get Mike Flanagan's adaptation of The Fall of the House of Usher this year. Likely not until like spooky season time, because that's about when all of his miniseries tend to hit. But I'm still stupid excited about it. I love Edgar Allan Poe. My mom read his stories to me when I was a kid, hence all of this. In the meantime though, I thought I would share my all-time favorite Edgar Allan Poe adaptations just to get everybody in the mood, hyperfixate with me maybe a little bit. And I'm gonna go ahead and say these are going in order, I think, ascending order, with the last one I mentioned being my absolute favorite. So 1953's The Telltale Heart is a short film adaptation of Edgar Allan Poe's probably most famous short story. An animated short, actually, directed by Ted Parmalee and narrated by James Mason. It was actually even nominated for Best Short Subject Cartoon at the 26th Academy Awards. Plot-wise, it is just a word-for-word reading of the Poe story, but the animation is what puts this one on the list for me. I don't know what you'd call this animation style, but it has a very surrealistic feel to it that I love, and I feel like it fits the mindset of our nameless narrator very well. Shout out to Pat Matthews, who's the principal animator on the film, and Paula Julian, who served as designer and color artist for the short. Just some fun facts. It's a short film. I can't talk too long about it, but just some fun facts. This apparently was the first ever cartoon to be given an X certification in the United Kingdom. And in 2001, it was deemed culturally significant by the US Library of Congress and was nominated for preservation in the National Film Registry. And you can easily check it out on YouTube. It's less than 8 minutes and it's 100% free on YouTube, so you just search it and you can watch it. All right, so this next one takes us for a bit of a wild ride, but I do love a bit of transformative qualities in my adaptations, so I have to mention The Raven from 1963. Roger Corman takes Edgar Allan Poe's most famous poem, for sure, and turns it into a very strange romp in which Vincent Price and Boris Karloff are rival sorcerers and Peter Lorre is a magician who gets transformed into a raven. I know it's stupid, okay? But it's fun. And I discovered watching this movie, the only thing I like seeing more than Boris Karloff and Vincent Price in their horror prime and just being terrifying is seeing them go full camp. And to see Poe adapted in such a way it's refreshing, honestly, even if it's incredibly silly. And this is free on Tubi, so y'all really have no excuse to not watch this. I can go ahead and say with full confidence, you definitely don't have to read the poem before you watch this movie. It's a departure. As you'll be able to tell from this list already, I very much love the Poe Corman cycle of films. I think my absolute favorite out of that cycle is Tales of Terror, which is an anthology of Poe adaptations starring, of course, Vincent Price, who stars in all of the segments as different characters. The shorts Morella and The Facts in the Case of Monsieur Valdemar are great, but if I'm being honest, my favorite out of this anthology is the Black Cat segment, which, despite its name, is actually a mashup of the Black Cat and The Cask of Amontillado. Peter Lorre's character in this short challenges Price's Fortunato to a drinking contest, and it's absolutely hilarious. Might possibly be one of my favorite Vincent Price performances ever. The way the camera sits too, just like right on the table, and you see like the wine bottles in the foreground with Vincent Price just acting drunk off of his ass, is amazing. And the segment as a whole is just a really cool blend of two iconic Poe stories. And to me, it's worth the whole anthology for sure. Okay, last Price one on the list, I promise. But this one is also free on YouTube, and trust me when I say, you want to see Vincent Price go full out in a one-man show where he performs 4 Edgar Allan Poe short stories. I feel like that should be enough to sell you, and I could just stop this one right here. An Evening of Edgar Allan Poe from 1970. It's filmed almost like a stage production for the majority of it. Like a simple set that Price moves about throughout the story with some nice surprises thrown in there to kind of throw you off base. My favorite being when Vincent Price literally like rips up the floorboards and pulls out a bleeding, beating heart at the end of the Telltale Heart. It's a fucking fantastic performance from Price. Like he's a vision in this. I love seeing Poe told this way, honestly. I feel like all of his stories should be told this way. And finally, one that I've kind of already talked about at length in my most recent horror shorts video is Extraordinary Tales from 2013. I'm just gonna keep mentioning it because it is my #1 absolute favorite Edgar Allan Poe adaptation. Directed by Raul Garcia, this is an animated anthology of Poe's most iconic short stories with a wraparound that makes me cry every single time I watch it. And the voice cast. I'm telling you right now, pause the video, go to the IMDb page for this movie and look at that cast and tell me this is not the most iconic anthology ever created. The animation styles are completely different for every single story, and they match their respective stories so well. They really elevate them, in my opinion. Honestly, I feel like I could do a whole video just revisiting this and just like fully dissecting it and talking about the stories and the animation, and let me know in the comments if you would like to see that. I may make it anyway because I'm getting really excited about it. So there you have it. Those are my top favorite Edgar Allan Poe adaptations on film. So share yours in the comments, please, if you would. I would love to check out any ones that I haven't heard of or haven't watched yet. Let me know how excited you are for Flanagan's take on The Fall of the House of Usher. I can't wait. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new here. Become a Creepy Peep today. I post 2 new videos every week. It's all horror all the time. So I'll see you next week with new videos. Until then, stay strange. Bye.